Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at a fascinating mystery, but this one isn't being solved with shovels or ancient dusty scrolls. Nope, we are using modern genetics. We're going to see exactly how a massive, totally groundbreaking DNA discovery has just completely rewritten the history of an entire nation.
You know, faces like this, striking wooden masks, have watched over Japan for centuries. They're like these silent witnesses to a really long, complex history. And for decades, historians and scientists kind of thought they had the story of human ancestry in Japan all figured out. It was a neat, tidy little narrative. But, as we almost always find when new technology shines a light into the dark corners of the past, the truth is rarely that simple.
So, we really have to ask the fundamental question all over again. Who are the Japanese? I know, it sounds straightforward enough, right? But the answer we have today is vastly different from the answer we had even just a few years ago. Let's step right into this genetic detective story and see how a brilliant team of scientists uncovered secrets hiding literally right inside the cells of modern people.
Okay, let's dive into this. For a long time, the accepted scientific truth was what they called the dual origins theory. Basically, it suggested the Japanese population descended from just two ancient groups: the indigenous Jomon hunter-gatherers, and then later migrants from East Asia who brought over new tech like rice farming. Simple, right? Well, a massive new genetic analysis has just provided some absolutely powerful evidence for a tripartite origins theory. Tripartite, meaning three major ancestral sources, not two. It is a monumental shift in how we understand human migration.
Section 1. A massive DNA map. Unlocking the genome.
This whole breakthrough was led by Chikashi Terao and an incredible team at Riken's Center for Integrative Medical Sciences. And the secret to their success really comes down to this mind-blowing number right here, 3,000. Instead of relying on older, much more limited DNA methods, the team used whole genome sequencing on over 3,200 people all across Japan, all the way from Hokkaido down to Okinawa. This technique reads nearly all 3 billion DNA base pairs in a person's genome. It's kind of like upgrading from a blurry, old black and white photo to a crisp 4K resolution image. It gave the scientists roughly 3,000 times more information to spot previously hidden clues.
So, they took all this data and organized it into something completely unprecedented. They called it JEWEL, which stands for the Japanese Encyclopedia of Whole-Genome/Exome Sequencing Library. But here's the kicker. This isn't just a giant list of DNA codes. The researchers brilliantly cross-referenced all this genetic information with the actual participants' medical histories, their disease diagnoses, and clinical test results. By doing this, JEWEL essentially becomes the ultimate investigative tool. By spotting super rare genetic variants, they can trace clues back to specific ancestral populations and track microscopic migration patterns that were literally invisible until right now.
Section 2. The hidden third ancestor. The Amishi connection.
And this brilliantly illustrates what they found. The data hidden inside JEWEL revealed a major plot twist. The population is incredibly diverse. When they looked at Jomon ancestry, stark regional differences popped up. Its strongest way down south in Okinawa, found in over 28% of the samples. But jump over to Western Japan, and it drops to just 13.4%, where people actually show stronger genetic connections to Han Chinese populations. But the biggest surprise of all was up in the Northeast. The team identified a completely overlooked third ancestral group, one that appears directly linked to the ancient Amishi people. If we map this out on a timeline, we can really see how this layered, complex history was built up over centuries. First, you have the ancient Jomon hunter-gatherers. Then, a second major wave hits between 250 and 794 CE, where massive migrations from continental East Asia brought in new people alongside Chinese-style government and writing. Finally, confirming some earlier skeletal studies from 2021, this new genome map definitively proves a third major migration wave happened during the Kofun period, and that is what established that Amishi-related ancestry. It's just a deeply dynamic history of movement and integration.
Section 3. Echoes of Archaic Humans, Neanderthal and Denisovan Ghosts.
Now, the JEWEL database didn't just reveal human ancestors, it uncovered actual ghosts from the unimaginably deep past. Researchers found 44 archaic DNA regions still present in modern Japanese populations today, and many of these are entirely unique to East Asians. We're talking about legacy DNA from Neanderthals and Denisovans. These are groups that literally interbred with Homo sapiens tens of thousands of years ago. They didn't just vanish without a trace. They left a measurable, physical legacy right there inside the modern genome.
So, why did these ancient DNA fragments survive while others just disappeared? Well, because they directly impact our health and our survival today.
Earlier studies had already shown that Tibetans inherited a Denisovan gene that helps them survive at high altitudes, but in this new Japanese study, they found a Denisovan region linked to type 2 diabetes. Get this, it might even influence how patients respond to modern treatments like semaglutide. No way, right? Furthermore, they mapped 11 distinct Neanderthal-derived segments that are connected to severe conditions like coronary artery disease and prostate cancer. It is wild to think about, but ancient history is literally shaping modern health.
Section 4. Toward Personalized Medicine. Breaking the Bias.
And that brings us to the so what of it all. Solving this ancient mystery is actually a direct pathway to the future of healthcare. Beyond just tracing ancestry, the team identified incredibly specific, potentially harmful gene variants, like those linked to hypertension and kidney failure, or hearing loss and chronic liver disease. But crucially, this project is a massive, absolutely necessary step in breaking some deep-rooted scientific biases. For years, these giant genomic databases have been focused almost exclusively on people of European ancestry, and that has severely limited our global understanding of disease risks. This is a real game changer.
Lead researcher Dr. Chikashi Tarao really hit the nail on the head regarding the big picture importance of this work. He stated, "It's quite important to expand this to the Asian population so that in the long run the results can benefit us too." By cataloging these specific gene variants, scientists can finally connect population differences with genetics. This paves the way for truly personalized, highly effective medicine for everyone across the globe, not just a select few. Tracking the ancient Amishi, the Jomon, and even those archaic Denisovan ghosts has completely revolutionized our understanding of Japan while simultaneously unlocking the future of medical science. It really makes you wonder about the microscopic histories that you and I carry around with us every single day. What ancient secrets, what massive migrations, and what ghost lineages are hiding in your DNA. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.